Hi there, Sarah James with CounselingPlaceCO.com. Today I want to talk a little bit about effective communication. It is very empowering to be able to communicate effectively through any sort of conflict, communicate effectively and assertively in general in our daily lives, not kind of falling back into passive-aggressive ways, really passive and avoidant type ways. People who are effective communicators and communicate in an effective, healthy way are very confident people. They feel like we can get our needs met when we need to. We know what they are. We can communicate in a healthy way even against people whom maybe aren't the best communicators, and we can bust through conflict that has been going on for quite a while, or maybe conflict even that just arose. So anyhow, when we talk about effective communicating, one of the biggest things is you need to be a good listener. And that is, listening is quite the exercise, especially when you disagree with something. So what you want to think about is communicating before things get heightened. Okay, so blood pressure is still low. You know, things are not escalated. So if you need to kind of rein it in and take a time out to compose yourself, do so before entering into talking about the conflict. So let's see, we want to start with, someone kind of has the floor and they're just going to say a few sentences about the conflict, about the issue. So let's stay one issue at a time. And a few sentences is mandatory because you don't want to flood the other person with what you're saying. And then you need a cue back that the other person is hearing you. So kind of do a check-in of, okay, so did you understand what I was saying? In marriage counseling, we often have the other partner repeat back what they're saying. I highly recommend that, just to make sure that you're getting on the same page with the other person. So then you say a little bit more on the same topic. A little bit more is, no more than 8 sentences, so you're not flooding the other person. And then they repeat back to you what you're saying. So it's very much like the technique is speaker-listener technique. So we've got a speaker, and then we have a listener. When the speaker is done with their portion of what they're talking about with the conflict, then the listener gets to talk about it, their side of it. And then the speaker is now the listener, and they're going to repeat back what they hear from who used to be the listener but is now the speaker. So it goes back and forth that way. The main thing about this is people want to feel heard. And in order for two people to get through a disagreement, both of them should be able to completely understand the other person's point of view. And it doesn't mean they agree with it. Okay, that is one of the biggest things that people they don't want to hear. Because they say, the second I open my ears and I'm not defending and waiting for posture, for my next move, they feel like they're losing ground or something, or they're not going to get their needs met. That's not true. The other person has needs as well, and they have perspective, and it should be honored. So going back and forth with this technique in a nice tone of voice, keeping emotions as low as you can. If emotions get heightened, just kind of take a time out and just say, you know what, let me think about things a little bit, and I'll come right back to you on this. So these are just a few strategies to help bust through conflict and use very strong communication skills. Hopefully you found this helpful. It's just a tidbit. Communication skills, in my opinion, you can go into great depths learning them. But one of the biggest things is keep yourself grounded. If you need time for thought, that's fine. Just tell the person, I need to think about this. Can I come back to you on the topic? Therefore, they know you're not just kind of abandoning them. And working through hearing the other side of the fence as well on the topic. And who knows, you may gain such a greater understanding on the topic that then you both kind of almost meet in the middle without even realizing it. That happens very often when using this technique. So it's honoring both sides, and both sides are heard and able to express themselves fully with this technique. And oftentimes you get to the end of it with very, very little conflict, even though there are very differing views. So just a little bit of food for thought on more empowering communication, and it starts with listening. Thanks. Bye-bye.